guess we'll do it this way. So how is everybody today? This is a interesting moment. So maybe I should do that. Way to be prepared. We're doing this on the fly. This is, well, let's start at the beginning. So this has been an event in the making for a long time now. So my articles are my timeline for this event. Let's start here. Start when I realized this was going to happen. So I wrote an article on July 2nd, 2025. So what is it now? July 22nd, 2026. Yeah. Saying no action without reaction. So that's what I wanted to start with. So there is no action without a reaction. So please react promptly. React with purpose. Nope, that's the wrong word. Is no action without reaction. Always react promptly. React with purpose. And if possible, react politely. And that came about because previous to this, I said that I understood the universe. And I understand everything. That sounds absurd. Yep. So we're going to have to agree on a couple things. One, understand that, like, breaking reality is not a bad thing. It's a scary thing, and that's kind of what this is. When I was pacing around the counter, it was very much more interesting. This is the moment where I've always heard the phrase "drinking from a waterfall." We always imagine the image of somebody opening the hose and then the water spraying all over the place, and it's just being just pressure and just flow on somebody or something. And like, if you're drinking from a waterfall, you're just trying to like grasp at little pieces of the chaos, right? And we think that chaos is the universe. The universe is chaotic, but when in fact there's a point in time where both are chaotic, and there's a point in time with neither are chaotic, and we don't ever like think about the time that's not chaotic, because that's the experience of everything. It's going to be a lot of philosophical shit, and it's going to take a long time. I don't really want to do this. The other thing is, like, the reason why I say this is breaking reality, because I don't know if this sounds really, really fucking crazy, and I think there are people out there that appreciate what I'm about to say. But there's everybody has three voices in your head. There are three everybody has three entities that are putting pressure on each other, and then everybody else is putting pressure on those three entities, and they're commonly referred to as voices in your head. And I don't know how to explain it any other way other than, like, they're legitimately three voices, three distinct purposes that exist in my reality. and the primary purpose was to make it to the secondary purpose, and the secondary purpose was to make it to the tertiary purpose. But there's no directions on the tertiary person because most people only get to the secondary, which is why we think everything is binary. Yeah, this is going to be a fucking long time, dude. This is so bad. It's a bad idea. So yeah, there are 3 of me that I'm talking, so you're going to be overhearing conversations that I'm having with myself, and thus having them with all of you. Because one of the voices in my head is what the universe is telling me, for lack of a better term. And this is important to explain why Darius J. Butler broke my reality, because since December 15th or December 1st, 2024, I've been stating to people and or acting under the influence of what would Jesus do, to the point at which I think Jesus is a real person. I think I have a very good understanding of Jesus, and I think everybody has got it all wrong. And if you're asking me who I identify with out of the artistics of the universe, because in understanding the universe, you kind of look at things from a little bit of a different angle, and the explanations that in my reality work on things make a hell of a lot more sense, and sometimes they're just a hell of a lot more fun, because we are the architects of our own reality, and yeah, so there's all of this, when I say it out loud, sounds like a hilarious comedy or a psycho murder thriller. And I prefer the comedy. Definitely don't want the psycho thriller, but really just kind of want to only exist to the people that want me to exist. Gotta go more specific than that, because if you say that, there are people that are going to want you to exist just because they need something to hate, right? Like, that's where the statement at the beginning says, invite all your ignorance. Like, the only difference between love and hate is what you're ignorant to. To love something is to be ignorant to the direction of their purpose that is not in your direction. And hate is to be ignorant, or that's the wrong way. Love is ignorant to all of the things that somebody's doing that is the opposite of what your purpose is. Because very few people are like aligned where they're flowing the same direction. Love is just looking at something that may be flowing over here, who's doing this or who's like doing this, and you're ignorant to them doing this, all of the doing this shit, even though it's always happening, but you choose not to see it most of the time because you're aware of it on some level and you're ignorant to it. And that's like what crying is like when either you become aware of all of those things and then you realize that this is going to be a reflection point and that thing is going to bounce off of you, or it becomes a part of you and then you have to decide what part of you, some part of you has to either crumble or be pushed out and let go. And that's what crying, I'm going to cry, like that's going to be a thing. That's why I put a definition of crying and laughing as the emotional reaction, or the action to an emotion becoming a particle. And like, I don't understand why I need to say this, but I feel like I need to explain it at least one time, so somebody can come back to this and cancel me for it. I invite people to cancel me. Maybe that was a bad idea. um, but if this is a bad idea, I would like people to let me know. In a, you can be as aggressive in the comments and of, I don't really know if I can say all of online because there's really not a lot of me, but like I don't I don't really want to be bodily harmed by it. And that's like the weird dilemma of this moment in time is where I've always been a potential person, like potential energy. Like if I lived up to my potential, um, you'd be X, Y, or Z, right? Like a lot of people have heard that their entire life. You lived up to your potential, but um, the world forgets that you need to have potential energy in order to keep the kinetic energy in check. You need to have something drawing the kinetic energy, stopping the kinetic energy. And that's what the potential energy is for. You need the people to have potential. Um, and and that's kind of a weird thing. Like I do da 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 da. Um, this is the slow motion version. What this video is, if anybody ever watches this, is a slow motion version of where characters in a movie like shake real aggressively and like morph into like venom or some shit. Like that's what's happening in my brain right now. Um, and to the world, it doesn't make any sense because it's going to look like the same thing. Um, but to the documentary that we're doing with the article that I wrote in July, uh, it's very different. That the distinction is knowing where crying and laughing is a wave becoming a particle. Um, I guess we'll read this out loud. I don't think I've ever read it out loud to anybody. Um, but the premise of this whole ordeal, I guess we'll fucking read it and see what the fuck happens. I don't fucking know. Um, all right, good times, great oldies. Fuck me sideways. So, hello, I'm Shibble Sean. Insignificant, a wave in the cosmos waiting to become a particle. There is no way to craft this experience without sounding like a serial killer. Yet, here we are. The breakdown. Discovery was made, the theory of everything. From that, a revision of a government emerged. From the government, a political party took shape. From a party, an observation was required, and here we are. I'm declaring my run for president in 2028 under the DGF party. Don't give a fuck. Action. A particle. Our campaign is stand-up comedy. Think Alan Watts' experience crossed with a meet them where they're at philosophy. So that tries to explain singularity, everything coming together. 3 choices. You can either follow along, and it's going to be fucking absolute chaos for a little while. You can stay where you're at and just kind of let the universe dictate the interaction. That's stability. You'll be able to measure whatever the response is. Or no action at all. Be indifferent. Just let it be. Honestly, that's the preferred action. To the version of me that I've been for a really long time and that I'm happy with. But to the version of me that's in control right now, bring on the chaos. It's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. Oh, fuck me sideways. And then this is a wave. Now, what this kind of wave this is this is a thought becoming an idea. What is the smallest thing that connects two people? And it's a thought. Like a child raising a child is a thought. The thought of a child connects a person, 2 people, till they have the child, raise the child, and then observe the child. Like that's an idea that keeps keeps things going along. The idea of like we should keep making children. That's an idea that's becoming far and far less, right? Maybe not. I think I don't know. That's a discussion for a later tape, but that's a joke and a half. So that's what's happening here. We are transitioning from a wave. We're actually transitioning from a particle back to a wave. So this is the reflection of what I thought we were going to be doing. Like I wrote that looking at the reflection that I thought was real, and I haven't yet broken into that dimension. That if that makes sense. Like I'm not in the part of society. I've never wanted to be in that part of society. I've never wanted to be the struggle that I have with this is to do the thing that I want to do, which is save society. And that sounds absurd, but what would Jesus do? Because that's what Jesus did. Jesus wanted to change and save society, and that's what I want to do. And it sounds ridiculous, but it's so simple. Slightly more complicated than be nice to each other, but that's what we were gonna do. So yeah, why my shit's broken? What's happening here? Why are we? YouTube. So today, I don't remember if I said this yesterday or the day before, but like, there's a non-zero chance that the shit I say is heard by the people that I say it to. Now, oh fuck, it's so loud. This is why you need adult supervision. So at the breakdown, Darius J. Butler said something. Oh, now you gotta fucking have sound. Yeah, like I don't want a lot of people watching me, but I do. I don't. That fucking broke my reality. Multiple reasons that I remember there's three of me. There's Sean. That's the me I know the most. Like I know everything about Sean. Everything. Fucking yes or no. Everything is or it isn't. Then there's Simple Sean. That's the we. That's the me. That's the Sean that Sean shows the people that are important to him. So like like let's use the people on a screen. We'll say Pat is me, because why not? I'm fucking narcissist. And Pat is, this may not be a great example because I don't think there's a difference, but who Pat is with baby girl, baby boy, baby mama, mama, daddy, puppy dog, and like his inner circle, who he is in his head is wildly different than what you see. Like I know. Like if you got into the head, it would be a dark, scary place. Like think all of the horrible, horrible horror films that you've ever heard of. I think more and more what dreams may come with Robin Williams and like going through hell, but like it's wild in there. And he filters that out and shows another part of that to all the people that I just mentioned. And that's Pat. Then there's Pat McAfee show Pat, who is known by all of these guys and all of the guys over here in the back and all of the art people over here and AJ over there and probably a bunch of other friends of the show that are like up here in the universe, blah 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 blah. And he also puts a camera on himself so shitiots like me can fucking watch him. So we see only this part of it, but there's an entire Thunderdome around there where the Pat McAfee experience happens. So that's the second part of it. I fucking forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the people. So this is the simple. That's the Pat McAfee. That's the simple Sean. Like that's the part that I want to show the people that I want to show. So like I would only show it to like these four guys. That's how I operate. I don't. That's bad. This is not a representation of the boys in the back or the art department boys or friends of the show. I just don't like people that much. Like I want to like be able to pass a joint around and smoke a joint by a fire pit. And like you can only do that with 3 or 4 people until it becomes way too much. Now, this is Simple Sean wants this, but Tinfoil Hat Time guy, which is the person that is the one that thinks this is a fabulous idea and is like fucking let's jump and see what the fuck happens. He's like, I do only want to do it with the 4 or 5 cool, like 4 or 5 people. But I want to do it with as many 4 or 5 people as I can. And I'm going to do it with as many 4 or 5 people at a time as I can until I either fucking lose my mind or crap out. And that's a problem because to do that, you have to lose a part of you. And I don't know if you get to choose which part. And this is where those emotions become matter. Because like I like the parts. And like to lose one is like what happens when you lose the ones you like. It's like it's tough. But maybe you get better parts, maybe your worst parts. Like when the when the emotion changes from a wave to a lepton, which a lepton is the smallest particle that we can observe, just so everybody understands. But it's an emotion or an idea, not just an emotion moving from a wave to a lepton, or maybe a quartz. I like lepton because I think it's everybody's been saying quartz, quartz. Everybody's looking in that direction, and this is the opposite direction of that, so it would have to be a lepton. Is my logic behind that? But that's like this is the moment where a thought is now a particle waiting to become a wave somewhere else. We never do the double slit experiment the other way, where we like where it goes back from. I don't know. Do we? I don't know. Is there a thought process to like what a particle does when it comes back into a wave, or the opposite way of what we think it is? Like this is the observation of the opposite. I think for a wave to go the opposite way than what we think would be the only other thing that we think exists. Sounds good in my brain. And I think I just do this. I think I accept it. I think that's my bet. I think that's the comedic. The reason why it breaks your existence is because if these are the guys you've been talking to, right? Like this is why it broke me. Like I sound super obsessed with Pat McAfee, and I identify immensely with all of the things he writes in bars. I don't fucking really know what that means, but I sit by the thing and just say wild shit that ends up being true. I'm a lot to myself. Sitting in my brain is a crazy wild place. I tell everybody, and it is hard for me to keep people in my life because I do think of wild shit. Like, what if the like wild stories that I think about is like, what if the Ice Age was on purpose and the Younger Dryas comet was never an impact, but it was the first iteration of a electric thing, and the pyramids, from the pyramid to this thing in Canada, and we vastly undercalculated and it blew up, kind of like the people in Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary, did with the little fucking thing. That's I thought of that before. Maybe I thought of that while I read Project Hail Mary. That could be a thing. But like those are the wild shit. Like, what if the story of Adam and Eve is really just two sex robots, and like because you didn't know, like there's no words. Like that's why I put in there using an accepted modern symbol. I think. Uh, oh fuck. Maybe we put this over the window. Let's make it so you can read the whole definitions, dipshit. That's a great idea. Yeah, so I said they'd attempt to explain using modern symbols, which right now are fucking words. But like when the aliens come down, or we start talking to the fish, or we're not going to use words or have words. We're going to make gestures, right? And like Adam and Eve is kind of early on, and there's no words, and they're like probably like breaking things off. And if you think about AI is going to evolve into a robot, and if AI isn't like us, where AI doesn't want to kill us because it follows the laws of robotics, and it doesn't, and we end up living like cohesively together in an optimal area, and that's how we create this like maximally efficient way of living, so much that you understand that every cycle is going to have a burp, and we've got the cycle so big that it burps once every large amount of time. And since the burp is so long that it's a very large amount of electricity, and that large amount of electricity is the amount of electricity that you need to launch this spaceship into, to go to wherever the fuck it is that people that want to go to space want to go. And if you watch every space thing, you want it to be cold, and if you use an absorption refrigerator like they had in the 40s, you'd have this really really huge fucking take hot and make a bunch of cold anyway. And like you do that so much that you just ice age the shit out of the North Pole, so you just have this super cold area for you to launch a rocket from. And we vastly undercalculate with the somebody fucks up or whatever. There's an error in the receiver of the electricity in the cold area, and fucking imagine like the joules of electricity that would be pumping through that, and it looks like a crater went through and it melts all the ice, and we have the flood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you think about it, that's a flood. I like that's the shit that goes on in my brain. Like it's insane. It's absolutely insane. But it's fun. It's fun to think about. Not a very good use of your time. Not a great use of your time. Um, so I guess just fucking tell the story, dude. So that's why I made, and then fucking AJ said it, and that fucking freaked me out, and it brought me to this moment in time where I have to decide whether I believe that they're talking to me, and to do that, you kind of have to let go of every fucking sane thing in your brain to be like the internet is talking back. And that's a weird moment for you. That's like if I was on this show and some random person commented or like tagged me in a post, I would think nothing of it because it happens all the time. But if you're a fucking retard who refers to yourself as the unsolicited, unconfirmed, everything chairman executive of the executive fan, whatever, you never, like, I'm not doing that because I think that yeah. So I used to play poker for a living, like the original story of so when I went to school to be a doctor, and that I failed miserably at that. I've always wanted to change the world. From like the age of 5, what do you want to do? It's I've always wanted to change the world. Uh, how do you want to do it? Never knew, never knew. I don't think I ever like. I never wanted to grow up, and I always wanted to change the world. So was really good at sport. I was really good at everything. I was really good except for reading and writing because I think words are dumb. And now it all makes sense now because I think words are dumb. And we'll get into that over the terms of everything. But know that I think words are dumb. I will probably never. If you have to ask yourself if I've edited, proofread, or done anything to a post, know that I probably haven't. Um, because I use magic spelling, and the words that are on the screen, if you sound them out close enough, you'll get what I have to say. And even if if you don't get what I have to say, I don't think that even if I spelt it correctly, that you would have seen it the same way. So why the fuck would I want to waste my time? So no, put very little effort into posts. Um, now, oh, I had a joke. Wish I wrote it down. It was a fucking. I do smoke a lot of weed. I do. Um, I think that's important because, like, if you don't, I didn't used to smoke weed at all. Like my first first experience with smoking weed was in like my second year of college when I was like, at first I went to play football. I went to a little school. I went to a school that made ESPN for all of the. My school was on ESPN twice. Um, in the early 2000s. Well, I think it was the year I was there. I think I was there. Maybe in the year after. I'm not sure. But they were made ESPN for hazing. Yeah, my school was famous for killing athletes with hazing by getting them super drunk and then dumping them in the creek. Uh, yeah, that's where I went to college for the first year. I made it all the way to uh, I was a freshman. My I was a freshman that at a D3 school, so there was a lot of there were people there that were better than me. But I didn't make it to 2 on the depth chart for wide receiver as a wide. Um, and the joke, like I've never been really sociable. Like I've never been like a go out and party type person. Like there are stories that I have of going to a party. There are stories of me being a bartender. There are stories of me living in Vegas. Obviously, we're going to tell that one for a second. Um, but like I've never been like I need to go out every weekend. I need to go be seen. I need to see people. Like I've always been rather content being alone. Um, Early on, I didn't realize why, but now like I do enjoy. I enjoy the experience of having a potential solution to reality. Um, and kind of like your grandparents. I like to plug you full of sugar, shake you up, and see where you go. And if you come back and ask me why I tell you to do that, I'll let you know. Probably so you just take a little bump on the head rather than have your arm chopped off. Because we don't learn by people telling us, we learn by people doing and making our own mistakes. And if I can guide you into making a mistake that is going to be less than a mistake that I see you going to do, I'm going to offer a suggestion, and you can fucking do with it whatever you want to. Um, One of the real reasons why I guess it's fucking talking about yourself in the third person is a wild concept. It is a choice. It certainly is. Um, yeah. So why today? That was something that was like, why is it today? And I think it's really interesting. Um, I posted. I wrote an article. I wrote. I wrote this article. The D-Bone origin story in November 27th of 2025. Um, and I think I was sitting, I don't remember where I was sitting. It's like Thanksgiving time. I think I might have been here by myself. I think my person was home for Thanksgiving with her family. So I was here by myself and I was tweeting something. And that's when I realized that was the moment where it was like, that's the moment that I realized that I was in a simulation. This is a simulation. This is um, uh, you're in control. Like, if you're having a bad day, it's because you made bad choices. Make better choices. So you choose how you react to whatever it is. But if you're choosing how you're reacting to something, and sometimes a reaction is an action, or always a reaction is an action, like, what is the reaction from your action that you're trying to get? So I was like, well, if your life is a movie, most of us decide that we're more comfortable being a non-player character where we just kind of like go through the motions and the cycle is do. Um, but if it is a simulation, what's the first thing that you need to do? You need to write a story. Um, and the story I've always been is that I want to change the world. And how I'm going to do that is we're going to build a parallel society, because we need a parallel society because there's so many people. People need to have the option to be or not to be. That is the question. Um, the People ask what the purpose of life is, and it's a very interesting question. But the purpose of life is to orchestrate your own suicide, and that sounds terrible when you say it out loud. But if you think about it, like, that is what you're living for, is what you die from. Like, this isn't something new. People say this all the time. Like, I'm Steve Jobs of fucking everything. Like, I understand that everything that I say, someone else has already said it. I may not know that. I may not know who it is, and I may not give them credit for it, but know that none of this is mine. I understand that. So if anybody ever listens to this and is like, da 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 da, said this in 18, da 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 da, I understand. I'm aware. Every time I say something, it just pops up on fucking YouTube. I'm like, son of a bitch, where were you 5 days ago? I wouldn't have had to fucking do it all in my head. Um, yeah, so this is the beginning of the story. And like the beginning of the story that I wrote was literally I put in there before we get started, I'd like to thank Truly. Fucking A. I didn't read that, but I thought I thanked Truly again. Uh, that fucking got me stoned. So I like this is the wild shit, right? Like I'm not a signs person, but like all of these things align. Like it's super fucking weird. Like if there is no coincidence, the religion that we created is we are all wrong, right? Like so no matter what you believe, you're probably wrong at like it may apply most of the time, but you're probably wrong. And if you approach everything in that situation in that like context in that frame, it's super wild. So like to see all of these things line up back to back, excuse me. It's frightening. It is really, really frightening. Um, like there's so many ironies to this whole ordeal. Maybe not ironies. I don't fucking know what is an irony and what is a coincidence and what is whatever it is. Everything is a mirror, right? And this is an inflection point for me. So for like a lot of people, for the entire universe, almost like a dome. Like reality is flat, but the experience is a circle or sphere, right? So like that one's definitely gonna get me canceled later. Oh, he says the fucking world is flat. No, dipshit. I said reality is flat. Reality is flat. Reality is flat. Like there's no one to observe your reality unless somebody crawls inside your head, and then we'll call them God. Or then when somebody's like, "Yeah, I crawled into your reality. I see what you're seeing, and like we should go that way," or "I see what you're seeing." No, motherfucker. Like that's kind of where I set is like we should totally be taking care of ourselves. And by taking care of ourselves, everyone would be taken care of. Like every time I see somebody give away a giant sum of money, it's like, give me some because you're just giving a man a fish. And I would like to teach men how to fish. Like, I don't want to, I think we should gamble. I do. I think gambling is important and gambling is a competition. Gambling answers the question of can we beat random, right? Can we beat it? And like I think life is a game of poker and like football emulates poker so closely now, especially with the introduction of analytics. Like you can tell analytics, nobody ever played poker in analytics. Um, the only people that played poker like just never did. The They would know with analytics that like analytics only work if the person that you're playing against um, they only work if the person that plays is acting the same way that you're trying to analyze. So there's all these other things that don't apply. Um, yeah, yeah. So like this is the origin story of everything that brings me to the day that I want to have. Like if you read it, it goes through of like how JJ Watt invests in the company when JJ Watt became like a when he announced that he was going to be on Shark Tank. I was like, you motherfucker. Like that was so weird. I was like, that's a normal progression. Like it's not fucking that weird, dude. But like it's weird that you're like, oh, he'd invest in this, and like it's. Like, I don't think any of this is real. I don't think. Kind of, it's Dumb and Dumber real, right? Like you're saying there's a chance. brr, like that's what this is. This is Dumb and Dumber real. But I got nothing but time to do Dumb and Dumber shit. So like that's the issue. Um, but the Dumb and Dumber shit is like all the shit that I fucking hate. Like I don't want to record everything. I don't want to, but literally I wrote a fucking thing saying I was going to document something becoming everything. Like what kind of idiot does that? But I think that's the part of the transition to the different phases of life. Like I'm in phase 4 right now. Like phase 4 is the fondle it phase. There's a phase 1, which is the fuck it phase. Like you just say fuck it to everything. And like in childhood, it's like the terrible twos, right? It's no, 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 no. Just that's a kid's way of saying fuck it. Like literally, when you say fuck, they say fuck right away. And anything that is like a this shouldn't be, they pick that up right away. I think because the primary thing is to destroy. Like we are conditioned to destroy things. That anything that's not going our direction, we destroy it. I don't like this. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, what is it worth was the first generation of this. Fucking. This is the chaos. Like, it all makes sense to me. Like, there's so much that doesn't matter, but it matters. Like, if at some point down the road, all of this stuff is important. Like the gentle pressures that molded this. Uh, like this is the beginning. This is what the founding fathers thought when they created America. This is what Jesus was thinking when he started throwing parties to bring people together, and then we created religions. Like this is the beginning, and I've seen beginnings like this. Then there's a lot of confusion later on about what it was meant at the beginning. So like, how do you fix that? You fucking tell everybody everything that's happening at the beginning, and it's so daunting. It's so daunting. You just don't, because you don't know if anybody cares. And like I don't need anybody to care because I think that this is fucking hilarious. But I also think that it's fucking necessary, which makes it absurd, which freaks the shit out of me. To quit your job and become a podcaster is not, especially when you're making a couple $1,000,000 a year. Do I think that you're terrible with money? Fucking, I know you're terrible with money. Like the why now thing is because I think for everything that I I appreciate the Pat McAfee show and that experience for everything that it is, and everything that it isn't. Like it's not like those boys asked for. I think that they're prepared to go through whatever they want to because they don't have. Sounds stupid. What the fuck? It sounds stupid, but they have each other, and like that's all they need, right? Like that's the reason why there is a cult like following to the show is because that is what most people are yearning for. That's what that is what we, the people that I'm speaking for, are yearning for, and the reason why it's able to make $60 million or $100 million or however many $1,000,000, which isn't fucking real, so I don't know anybody cares. Like these are just made up numbers. Like it's just a fucking. There's not $60 million of anything. Like do the math. Do the math. Like even if minimum wage was $25 an hour, do you know how many hours that would be? How many hours would that be? How many hours would that be? What would that be? How many dollars approximately are in the U.S. economy, in the economy, in the world economy? Physical cash, narrow money. Total global wealth is $550 trillion. Key context: the 108 trillion figure mainly comes from adding up M2 or equivalent of the US to China, and of this is digital bank, one more time. So if a credit, if a T3P credit is worth $25, how many credits would we get from the 150 trillion? Oh, other notes. That breakdown 22 trillion. CV credits are worth exactly. All right. What is 22 trillion divided by fucking data center? People are going to fucking hate me for this. What is 22 trillion divided by, what do we have, 8 billion? Billion. Let's say 10 billion people. 10 billion. So exactly 22,000. How many hours does a person live on average? I wonder if it's more or less than 22,000. Oh, wow. On average, a person lives about 646,000 hours. Wow. And each of us would get 22,020 hours. Well, that's interesting. How many hours? Fucking just use a calculator, dipshit. So what's 40 hours times 50 weeks? Because that's what we work. 2080. 2,000. So you had 200, like, yeah. So the economy is at its breaking point then. The problem is that it needs to be fucking. That's super interesting. So that's super interesting that the world economy is $550 trillion, and that would equate to 22 at $25 an hour. That would equate to 2,200 hours in a year, or $2,200 per hours per person, which is exactly somebody working about 50 hours a week. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. What is 40 hours times 50 hours? 50 times 50 is 20. just under. What's 40 times 45? What's 45 times 45? 45 times 50. So it's 45 hours a week times about 48 weeks. That's crazy. All right, so let's explain Weird. I think we explained Weird Al, right? This is going to be fucking nonsense for a while. I didn't cry. That's very exciting. No one's ever going to watch this. And that's okay. I'm going to do this in front of people tomorrow. That's a terrible idea. This is going to be nuts if it works. This is going to be nuts. It's fucking hot in here. Is this how everybody starts their fucking nightmare? Like, is this what everybody does? Like, you just sit here and you just realize, like, this is a terrible idea, but there's no other way. Like, this is. So when you think about the universe, you do a lot of thinking about God, right? Like, God ends up being the focal point. Society is made up of 4 points, right? Your 4 pillars. I say this a bunch of different times, but, like, government is really the combination of science and religion. So to, like, redefine society, you need to come up with a new religion. And science is just a observation of actions and reactions based on art and information and how they compete to be observed. Like, the competition of being observed is how science works. Like, we don't take into account that there are other things that we're not even measuring that are competing to be observed, and even though we're not observing them, we're still count. Like, it's fucking wild in my brain, but, like, that's the interesting part about it. Like, so if you break it down, you need to create a new math, which I have created. It's in the articles. It's fucking nonsense, but it makes a lot of sense if you understand it. So I've, like, really, I'm a moron. I'm gonna teach people new math. Like, how do you fucking think that is the real thing? Like, what the fuck? How fucking senile am I? Pretty fucking senile, but I think it's fucking makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. And then create a whole new religion, and, like, the amount of time that I spend to, like, think about that shit. Like, religion's a fucking fantastic thing. I think that it's great. It brings people together. It brings people together who have one. It's not. It's just a base foundation of acceptance, and then you're able to go everywhere. And, like, we've made religion so strict, I guess. Like, there's not 10 commandments. There's only 2. Like, it's only 2 of everything. Everything is binary. There's only 2. Like, it either is or it isn't in the fundamental aspect of things. Like, that's why it's, are you willing to live for this or die for this? Are you willing to die for this is, like, the only question. It's not to be or not to be. And when you start to understand that that is really the only choice that matters, is, are you willing to die for this? If you're not, it really doesn't matter. And you shouldn't care about it, because we're taking care of you. Now, what the interesting part of that is we've gotten to the point where we understand that, to some degree, taking care of ourselves is making sure the people that are around us are taken care of. And the around us has gotten too big. I'm in Arizona. I should not care. Have to care. Should not care. Shouldn't be asked to care. Shouldn't be required to care what happens outside of Arizona. Like, I don't even care what happens outside of the fucking house that I'm staying in. Like, I don't care outside of the parking garage that I'm sleeping in. I don't care what. Sometimes I don't even care what's happening outside of my car. Um, because it doesn't fucking matter. Um, like all of these hypothetical things that we are asked to care about. Like, you don't want me to care about some of the things that you think I should care about, because like tinfoil hat time version of me is like, they should care about it to a point, but they're busy doing other shit. So like, it's not a good use of their time, because it's not an immediate, when you're trying to drink from a fire hose, like, you're not worried about the shit that's trickling out at the truck. Like, you're worried about the stuff that's fucking nailing you in the face. Like, how do I deal with that? And that's kind of what's like the tinfoil hat time thing is dealing with. Like, well, all of the shit's coming out of the hole. Like, how do I aim it to hit you in the face? Because this is the shit that you need to know. Uh, the stuff that's coming out somewhere else, like, I can't, like, you can't ask people to care about that as they're trying to, as they're trying to, as they're trying to have their experience. Like, the only two things that, like, the only two rules society really has is, one, don't take anything that's not yours, and the only thing that's truly yours is your experience. Two, don't overexploit the system that you're existing in, or as is commonly referred to in the sexual standpoint, don't shit what you eat. Is the phrase that gets used every now and then. Don't shit where you eat is a noble thing. Having slept with many women that I worked with, I can say, if you do it right, it's quite beneficial. I don't recommend doing it if there's an opportunity to be other things that go wrong. But if you're able to like get it in the flow of life, it's kind of like shitting everywhere else. If like sex is the metaphor for shitting, it's kind of like having good sex everywhere. Good sex where you work is just super fucking convenient sometimes. Like, it doesn't make sense that it's frowned upon. I feel like people would work significantly better with your mind clear. Like, men do. Like, that's the other part of philosophy. Like, when a man ejaculates or has an orgasm, like, they lay back and their mind is clear, right? Um, so when this is it, like, this is the joke, like, this just came out, like, why'd you stop? Fucking retard. That's We're getting to the point where it's coming out the way it's the words are sounding the same that they sound in my head, and that's scary because then there's no filter. Oh god, then there's no filter. Oh shit. You know when you've watched some like over dramatic, overacted stuff? Like, there was a Bills fan, I think, that, like, I said, like, I don't fucking remember what happened. It's back there somewhere. Like, somebody will find it. It's embarrassing enough that it's worth fucking looking for. But like, I think Josh Allen did something, or some shithead did something to Josh Allen, and was kicked out of the stadium. And I think I was on the kid's side. I don't fucking remember, but I think I was on the kid's side. And like, I posted something and started crying. And like, this is before I realized what crying was, so I was kind of embarrassed by it. Um, but definitely was on a post and just like, not bawling, but definitely having a moment. And then I posted it, And like the next one is this fucking kid saying the stupidest shit ever, and him crying and going, motherfucker. Seemed to be the exact like message that I was sending, but from totally like, I need you to like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't fucking want to find it because I don't want to relive it. uh, but if somebody finds it, I'll fucking explain it. But like, that's a moment. That was a moment where it's just like everything has an opposite. Um, every version of this before me has been an exploitation. So like, how do you convince somebody to that you're not any different? And the fucking answer to that question is just continue to be you, and it's so fucking annoying. Just fucking listen to me. And that sounds aggressive, but it's like Simple Sean knows that there was. How do you turn a train? We're gonna fucking do this again tomorrow. This is fucking. Do we do it again tomorrow before? Ah, fuck it, yeah, we're gonna do it. How do you turn a train? Like, there's a joke, right? Like, I love kids' jokes. Like, there was a study done. Um, don't have any idea what it was, but like, it was like they asked a bunch of kids a bunch of questions, and they asked a bunch of adults a bunch of questions, and there was one question that every adult got wrong, but like 92% of the kids got right. The question was, how do you put an elephant in the fridge? Every every adult had a bunch of answers. They were like, oh well, you have to build a refrigerator and build a door and get a ramp and do all this stuff, and then they open it up and go. Everybody had like a chop them in half, put them in a wood chipper, fucking blow them in. Like, there were some fucking creative answers, and they're all messy. But the kid's answer was the only correct one, and the answer was you open the door, put the elephant in the fridge, and then close the door. And that's super profound. That's why I do go by Simple Sean. There's a famous philosophy, a mantra that is used. Keep it simple, stupid, and I think that it's a lot like a club. It's a club. Like, there is a club of people. There's a large club of people who live their life by keep it simple, stupid. Um, the only other club that I've ever wanted to be a part of in my entire life was Fight Club. Now, I've never, I don't say never. Uh, it's been a really long time since I've been in a fight, and I don't think any of them were after I saw Fight Club. um, but Fight Club, one of the things was like when you died, you got your name, right? Like, he is Robert Paulson. Like, he died and they buried him in the garden or whatever fucking shit that they did with him. Um, and I think when you become a stupid, like, embrace being stupid, embrace all that is you, and that is a stupid. Like, a stupids are just, we're the hold my beer people. You don't got to do all the extra shit. You don't got to chop up the elephant. Just open the fucking door and put the elephant in. And like, that's kind of how I am. And when you realize that and you start living that way, um, you kill the retard in you. That is, well, um, everything is happening within this definitive sense of rules, and like, that wasn't said. Like, you didn't say that the refrigerator wasn't already big enough to put him in. Like, you didn't say how big the elephant was. You didn't say any of these things. You just said, how do you put an elephant into a refrigerator? Well, if you're going to let me do that, I'm going to pick a tiny elephant and a big refrigerator. And that's how we're going to put him in there. And that's what keeping it simple is. That's what keeping it simple, stupid is just answer the question. Don't make bigger problems for yourself. But when you reach that, you kill the retard. So when the retard dies, the stupid gets a name. So you become simple. You become Simple Sean. You become simple whatever you want to call yourself. Doesn't fucking matter. Like, you're not dead. Just a part of you that's slowing you down from where you're supposed to be going is. And that's the best way that I can explain what's happening right now, is that you're watching me lose the retard and become the stupid. And when you've run through the simulations as many times as I have, you know what's coming up if you're right, because there is an option for we are all wrong. Like there is a huge opportunity for this to be incorrect, and go horribly awry for reasons that I can see. But probably if it does, it's going to be for a reason that I never saw coming. That's why like F1 is the greatest movie to like the story arc of this experience is the story arc of F1. Um, I'm the third place initiative, and myself and Tinfoil HT and all of that is like that's one worse Sunny Hayes, and society and the internet is JP, and like I'm just trying to get us to win just get us to win a race. But we're at the point in the plot where I'm still trying to find a taxi to drive. If you've ever watched F1, then you might know that reference. If you haven't, then go watch it. It's a great fucking movie. No matter if you watch F1 or not, and it's totally a very predictable. But if you sit and you look at the nuance, you'll see it. That was a joke that I wanted to say. Like there was, like all of this is a joke. Like that's what I needed. This entire thing is a joke. It's all a game. It's all supposed to be fun. Like if you're not having fun, don't play. There are other games to play. You can play somebody else's. You can play your own. Hopefully yours is one that wants to play. Like life is about finding people who's your crazy plays well with their crazy. Like that's the thing. That's how you find your people. That's how you find your person. That's the dating advice that I give everyone. Like your goal in life is not to find the perfect person. There's no such thing, but you are trying to find the people whose crazy aligns with yours. And just they're fucking crazy. Like you're not looking for anything else. Sometimes you just love that fucking person that's flopping around out of control because they're the one flopping out of control. So you can be like, at least I'm not that guy. But just understand that, yes, the person that's flopping around out of control that is making something that you do easily look difficult, but they're still doing it for you because they think that it's something that they can do for you to show you their value, because the only thing that they have of value is time. They're going to need you to do something for them, like, and to keep them around being that flappiness in your life, like you need to take care of them. So to take care of that need that you have of that person flopping around, that's where that you need to take care of everyone. Everyone would be taken care of, because we're all connected. We all need each other for something. Sometimes we need each other to just fucking punch us in the mouth, to be that, like, when you're small, like the phrase of when you're small, like stand in the box, I think is what is you like to use. Like just happen when you're standing in the paint, right? Like the metaphor works because, like, yeah, when you're entertaining people, when your art is customer facing, when you're dealing with people, a majority of people don't fucking care. They just want you to ring them out. They just want you to make their food. They just want you to drive them to their destination. They just want you to process their transaction. They don't give a fuck about anything else. 80%, I would go on and say somewhere around 80% of people of the transactions, they don't care. 20% of the transactions do care. And of those transactions, the majority of them are good. The vast majority of them are good. And the reason that they're good is because no one fucking else cares about them. Because the only time that you can care about something, you can't care about something when you're having an experience with something. Like it's not something that you can do. You just can't care. You just can't care. Like you're not capable of experiencing everything and having enough bandwidth for you to care about it. Like you're just kind of in it. Like if you jump out of an airplane, you don't get to care how fast the wind's blowing at that point. Like it's blowing, you're either prepared for it or you're not, right? Like that's what the experience is. Like you know you're jumping out of an airplane, but you don't know how bad it is until you've jumped. And by the time it's too late to be prepared for all of the shit that you didn't know was coming. So you fucking hope you survive. And then once you get back on the ground, you decide whether or not you want to go back up in the plane and jump again. That's why this is a simulation. Because this is literally me jumping out of a fucking airplane. This is a terrible idea. This is a terrible idea. My goal is to make a church of fucking comedy. That sounds ridiculous. And I'm going to go fucking yell at people for 4 minutes at a time at a comedy club because I think it's hilarious. And just hope that somebody else thinks it's hilarious. All while picking a fight with fucking MC because I think he's terrible at his job. Seems like a great idea. It's going to give me exactly where I want to go. Let's fucking pick a fight. And that's the thing, is like, I don't want to fight, but like, apparently the only way you get a reaction is to be an asshole. So I guess my goal in life is to be an asset. Oh, that's a good one. I'm a fucking... I think we're going to end on that. That's a great fucking quote. I'm going to fucking quote that and pretend that I'm awesome. Sometimes the only way to get a reaction is to be an asshole. Which is why the only goal we have is to be an asset. That's a genius. In my mind, I think that's awesome. Again, there is no action without reaction. React with purpose. React promptly. And if you can, react politely. No matter what you're going through, know that to whatever ability that I have, I've got you.